Celtics get their first win of the 13-14 preseason, 111-81. This is the Garden Report on Celtics blog and CLNS Radio. So the Celtics grab their first win of the 13-14 preseason. They win 111-81. Brad Stevens' first ever victory in the NBA, but he's not counting that one, obviously. But what do you think of Stevens tonight?
It's his first win. He came out with a good game plan. I think he really let the players play tonight, and a lot of players mentioned that post-game, especially Jordan Crawford. He didn't have a game plan going in who was going to be carrying the ball up the court, who was going to play the point guard role between Bradley and the other point guards on the team, and it ended up being Jordan Crawford. Crawford showed up, distributed the ball well, scored some buckets of his own. Definitely a great performance from Jordan Crawford.
And let's talk about Crawford. I mean, he was kind of the focal point of all the post-game press conferences, really, of this game. His numbers, he went 5 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from deep, and he had 7 rebounds as the point guard. That's kind of a weird number right there.
It's a weird number, but it's a good number. It means that the guards are getting in there and they're getting involved. They're getting involved in the paint and helping the bigs rebound, because let's face it, this is not a big Celtics team. Jared Sullinger played center tonight. He's not going to match up with these guys like even Diagu for the Knicks, who had a monster game tonight. So it's going to be a team effort if they want to be able to compete on the rebounding front against these other teams.
So Crawford, it feels like his game opens up when he's handling the ball. He's bringing the ball down the court. I talked to him after the game, and he told me that when he's able to bring the ball down the court, what I think part of the confidence boost for him is that he says that he gets the ball back usually. He's expecting to get the ball back. It's not like he's waiting in the corner hoping it'll come back to him. He knows that he's the focal point of the offense.
He's a guy that needs the ball in his hands. That's basically what it is. You have other guys like maybe Avery Bradley, he's not going to be successful in that role, but Jordan Crawford is a guy that wants the ball in his hands. He needs the ball in his hands, and all of his teammates, including head coach Brad Stevens, are pretty much in agreement to that Jordan Crawford is going to have the ball, and hopefully if he continues playing like tonight, I think the Celtics are going to be all right.
All right, well, let's hear what everyone had to say about Crawford's performance in the locker room. You feel being a primary ball handler gives you a little bit more freedom offensively?
Just makes you more comfortable. You don't have to force shots because you know the ball can come back to you. So you want to get everybody involved, get everybody else rhythm, and while you getting everybody else rhythm, you find your rhythm.
Feel like you're finding your rhythm?
Just letting the game come to me. That's pretty much it.
Well, I think it was one of those things where I didn't say who's going to have the ball. So he had it some, Avery had it some, Phil had it a lot. I just think Jordan's a playmaker. So he makes them for himself, he makes them for others. He's a good basketball player. I was telling Ron Adams on the way in, Jordan's the kind of guy that walks in the gym on Saturday night after a back-to-back, and that's where the next game is. That's the way that he's always been. I mean, he's probably looking for a game tomorrow. That's just kind of who he is, and I respect that, and I like that. And so I wasn't surprised he played well. Yeah. You probably saw him more than I did prior to me coming here. Jordan Crawford, my impression of Jordan Crawford before I got here was he almost beat us. At Hinkle, he put on a show. And so I knew what he could do scoring the ball. He's a really good passer. He's a better passer than people realize. And he's done nothing but buy in.
I love it. He always has flair to his game. And everybody says he's a scorer first, but he really loves to pass. And so as long as he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think this team will be successful.
Can you talk about his competitiveness? He's talking trash in practice.
He's always competitive. That's Jordan. If he doesn't talk stuff during practice, I don't know who Jordan is. And I think that's what gets his motor going, and that's what gets him, locked in and ready to play.